If your puppy is a bit timid or fearful, you're going to want to stay tuned for today's video. Over my dog training career, I've seen more than my fair share of timid, shy, or even fearful puppies. A lot of times this doesn't even have to do with the new parents of the puppy, but rather how the puppy was bred and raised. So not only do new puppy parents have to do everything puppy related, like potty training and socializing and going to puppy school, but now they have an extra task of helping their puppy overcome their fears and anxieties. Because we all want a happy, well-adjusted dog in the end. So today what I want to do is I want to go over some ways that you can help your puppy build up their confidence and how to slowly get your puppy accustomed to new environments in a friendly, happy, and successful manner. So let's dive right in. So the first thing, it can be very normal for puppies to be fearful or cautious. Everything is new to a puppy. The world is new. Noises are new. Big boxes are new. People running new. All of that can be very scary for a puppy. So I'm going to talk about how to understand what your puppy is trying to say and what you can do about it to help them overcome their fears and to help them build up confidence. So the first thing you want to think about when you're trying to help your puppy overcome his fears and anxieties, or even to introduce your puppy to new things, is what we call the threshold. And this is what you want to think about as your puppy's comfort zone. When they're what we call below threshold, they're feeling pretty happy, chill, relaxed, confident. But when they're above threshold or over their threshold, that's when the anxiety spikes and they start becoming really fearful and anxious. And we can't teach a fearful dog to do something. Kind of like if you're afraid of something. If you're afraid of a spider and I'm trying to say, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it, and that spider is coming closer and closer and closer to you, you're not going to be able to learn. And you're not going to trust me either because you're over your threshold. Instead, we want to think about where is it that my puppy can be comfortable about a situation and be able to learn and think. That's what you're always targeting. So how do we help our puppies stay below threshold? Well, it's all about taking things slowly and steady and watching your puppy carefully and start to introduce them to new experiences in small, manageable doses. If your puppy seems uneasy, that's okay, but we want to back off. We want to go back to where they feel comfortable and safe. That's where we want to start. So if you ever go too far and your puppy gets nervous, just back off. Add more distance. We want to also remember to stay positive. We're trying to build our puppy's self-confidence. So no yelling at them, no forcing them to a situation where they're uncomfortable with. We want to make them feel happy and secure in their own skin and being with us and being around an environment. So let's take strangers for an example. If your puppy is nervous around strangers, you want to be at a distance away from the stranger that your puppy is like, okay, I see somebody over there, but that's okay. And then you give them a reward. Don't ask that stranger to come closer to your puppy and give them a reward, because think about that spider. That stranger is their spider. So we don't want it to come closer. Instead, you give them the reward. And you're going to gradually build over time and condition your puppy that every time we see a stranger, you're going to get a reward. And that distance, that threshold from the stranger to your puppy will gradually decrease, because what they're going to start doing is they're going to start associating strangers as good things. Strangers as good things. And that's what you want to do. You're going to pull Pavlov into the picture. Strangers, food. Strangers, toys. One other thing that you can do is if you accidentally go over that threshold and your puppy gets nervous, he may either try to scoot away or he may bark, and that's okay. So then you want to add distance away from that stranger. And when I say stranger, you can replace stranger with anything that makes your puppy nervous. Even if they're nervous of the plastic bag that's on the floor. Same situation. Move away from the plastic bag, give your puppy a reward, and start over. You want to make sure that you're getting out and about so that you can introduce your puppy to different things, but don't overwhelm them. So if they have anxieties about one thing, maybe it's strangers, maybe it's people, then you want to go to a place that's not overly crowded. You want to position you and your puppy in a situation where a human's not going to like sneak up on you, so that you kind of see the environment and you know that, this is a good spot. There's really not going to be a reason for a human to come approach me. So my puppy and I can just sit here. We can watch the world go by. I can reward him for good behavior. behaviors. If you'd like step-by-step help by building calm habits like this, I have an online training course and puppy book linked below. They walk you through everything I teach, real-life routines, gentle redirection, and positive habits. I can let him do some sniffy sniffs. I can play some games with him to help him loosen up. And the more you do that, the more your puppy is going to start desensitizing to being out and about and desensitizing to strangers and start to feel more comfortable and happy in his skin. You also want to know that you want to be there for your puppy. You want them to know that you are their safe spot. They can sit in your lap and watch the world go by. They don't have to be there by themselves. When I work with clients with either scared puppies or scared adult dogs, there's many times that I'll just sit on the ground with that dog, let them nuzzle right in with me, watch the world go by, because they feel comfortable and more secure knowing that there's someone there with them. If on the other hand, they felt that they were alone, they're going to be more reactive about things. They're going to be more on edge. You want to remember that everything takes time and patience. Every pup's going to learn at their own pace. You want to celebrate all the small victories, all the tiny moments of bravery, and be your puppy's biggest cheerleader. Shower them with love and encouragement. If all they did was sniff the plastic bag and you're cheering on and throwing them a little party, that's perfect. They'll love it. If your puppy is nervous about dogs, you want to find well-socialized dogs that aren't overzealous. Think about senior dogs. I think about Dexter. When I work with clients that have nervous dogs, I bring Dexter a lot because Dexter's like, whatever. And Dexter doesn't care about other dogs. He doesn't really want to say hi. He just like sniffs the ground and looks away, and that's perfect. Those are the dogs that you want to introduce your fearful puppy to, because those dogs aren't going to be in your puppy's face. Go back to that spider. Again, if something's scary, we don't want it going towards us. We want it going away from us, not moving quickly, letting your puppy get in and get some smells without that other dog jumping around. During all your training with your puppy, it's going to be really important for you to hone in on your puppy's body language. Figure out when your puppy is comfortable, relaxed, happy, nervous, so that you have an idea of what your dog is thinking before they go over that threshold. So if I'm looking at my dog and I'm out and about, he's loose and soft and he's looking around, and then all of a sudden he stops and maybe his jaw shuts and his tail gets stiff, or his tail tucks, or he moves backwards, or his ears go down. All those things could indicate that my puppy's starting to get a little nervous. So I need to figure out, how do I help my puppy in this situation? Do I need to add more distance? Can I cheer him up and give him a treat? Can we go for a sniffy? If I don't adjust our route then my puppy's either going to react, bark, 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 lunge, 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 or hightail it and try to get away. I always like teaching my clients to look at their dog in the house and pick a body part every day to watch. So say today you're going, you know what, I'm going to watch my dog's ears. And I want you to watch your dog's ears for a day and see all the subtle ways that they change. And try to ask, did this happen when my dog was happy? Did it happen when he was stressed? When he was over aroused? When he was excited? When he was sad? And you can see all the subtle changes that happen. Then the next day, maybe I watch his tail. Dogs with tails, those tails go in all sorts of ways. They go real high, real low, in the middle, they go fast, they go slow. With our dogs with nubs, they also move too. So that nub can get higher, it can get lower, it can go straight. So those are all changes. So the easiest thing when you're trying to understand your dog when you're out and about and things are moving pretty quickly and you're like, oh, is he nervous? When in doubt, add distance. So if you're unsure of what's going to happen, help your dog out. Get a little further away. It's always best to go slower than to try to rush things through. Slow and steady always wins the race. And when you're working with your puppy, remember, we always want to try to have things be exciting, fun, positive, enjoyable. So if you're on that outing and it feels like it was just a big stress bomb, you need to readjust. We need to back off a little bit and go, okay, that's not the right situation. How can I socialize my pup in a calmer environment? What would make him less stressed? So remember, the key to success is to gradually introduce your puppy to new things at a level that they can feel comfortable with so that you can reinforce that behavior. Don't overwhelm your puppy because that can backfire in the end. And you want to reinforce your puppy often so that you're making that connection of scary thing or possibly scary thing to something good and valuable so that we can change that emotional response. And don't ever hesitate to seek the the advice of a professional dog trainer or animal behaviorist that utilizes positive methods and works on confidence boosting rather than punishment or intimidation. And I do offer both phone and Skype services, so if you want my guidance, feel free to contact me. I'll drop that link in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to both of our YouTube channels for more free content. But wait a minute, if you're passionate about dogs, their behavior, their training and care, and you want some extra perks and guidance, check out my private Patreon page. That link is below in the description. And remember, don't forget to pause and enjoy life, and we'll see you in the next video. If you're enjoying today's video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I dive deep into all things dog training, natural care, and healthy living for you and your dog.